all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our county and of those whose interest you've committed to our church. Amen. So thank you all of you for finding time to attend to this session. We will begin with introduction. And to begin with, my name is Josephat Kirui. I'm the chair to this committee on county petitions. I'm also a member of County Assembly representing the people of Singarwet Ward. At this juncture, I'll allow the members of my committee to introduce themselves and also the clerks present. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Honorable Josiah Somwe, member to this committee, and I represent Nyongori's ward.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Nathan Kibet, member to this committee and member representing Kapletunda ward.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Jafet Chiruyot, member to the committee and MC representing Bomas ward.
Morning. I'm Veronica Wawiru, Assistant Central Counsel.
Yes, we also have another team, the answered team. Can you please introduce yourselves?
Deborah Chepto, Hansard.
I'm Osiagwan, Hansard reporter.
Mercy Chepkemoi, Communication Department.
Thank you. So we are hoping that some of the members of the committee will join us as we proceed. Let me also allow you, the visitors, to introduce yourselves. Yes, welcome.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Joseph Kirui, the CEC member for Land Housing and Urban Planning, and I'm with my directors. Before I hand over to the other department, they can introduce themselves.
Sabi. Eric Chirchir, Director of Physical Planning.
Cecilia.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and the members to this committee and all other staff. I'm Honorable Cecilia Mutai, the CEC, Gender, Culture and Social Services. I'm with my director here. He'll introduce himself.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Chair and members. My name is Wesley Sigate, Director, Culture and Library Services.
So once again, I want to welcome you again to this committee, and I thank you sincerely for finding time to attend to our invitation. We are currently looking at the petition number 5 of 2025, that is on promoting and protecting indigenous trees and the culture of the people of Bomet County. This petition was written to us by one Piegon Joel Cheruyot alongside 400 other people who appended their signatures to this petition. So looking at it, I think this is the very first time we are having such a large number of petitioners, 400 people who signed against this petition. And this is a concern. The concern by these people is on protection of indigenous trees and culture. And when we received this petition, we looked at it. There are around 3 issues here. First of all is the availability of land for planting these indigenous trees. And then once the land is available, the question of culture comes in, because these petitioners are concerned that the culture preservation is at stake. In fact, we have the pictorials of where one of the majors was put up in the last season. There is a pictorial that was shared by the petitioner last time. I will give it to you so that you look at it. It is a quarter of an acre, and it is set up alongside the road. Yeah, it is just an open field, and you know what that means to our culture. So I'll please pass this to be seen by our teams. So you can imagine a major having been set on that piece of land. It may not be well explained, but that is that's a quarter piece of land, a quarter of an acre, that's alongside the road. And our people had set up a major around that area. So when we received this petition, we first of all wrote to the CEC in charge of land. Now, we invited the petitioner to shed light further on this petition so that even as we write the final report, your input on the same. Is it okay to set up majors for agriculture in the places that are alongside the road? And to the Waziri lands, do we have indigenous, for that matter, for us to plant in those areas and seclude them as specifically for preserving culture? So I will invite you, Waziri lands. You give us a few. Of course, you have the content of the petition. You give us your view, and then we will discuss, all of us. So welcome, Waziri.
Okay, thank you, Chair, for inviting us to this very important meeting pertaining to the petition number 5 on the proposal for enactment of a legislation on land acquisition for planting of trees and establishment of boys training center, Manger, in Bomet County. Your Honorable Chair, I think this is a very important petition and a unique one as such. We were discussing yesterday when we received your invitation. We met as a department yesterday to ventilate on it and to discuss about it. And we realized it's actually a unique one and very important. However, in the letter, there was no attachment we got this morning from the assembly. But the summary of your letter at least was explaining all that was very necessary. So when we discussed as a department, Your Honor, we value culture. That's why even in the spatial plan for the county, in the cover page, at least we ensured we put a photo of a cultural aspect. And in that county spatial plan, there's the picture of our culture person, the late, what do you call this, Kipchamba, the late Kipchamba. So it's actually a very important petition, Your Honor. So upon discussing, we discussed several issues. We have also brought some maps, which maybe we'll give you later for the assembly. This will be for the assembly, the land, the maps for Bomet County. Upon discussion, because I had the CEO, and I'm sorry the CEO could not come today because he was not feeling well, but he said he will try. I don't know if he will still make it. And we have the Director of Fiscal Planning. We also have the Director Urban, and that was yesterday in yesterday's meeting, and the Director Survey and the Director Housing. What came out is that this cultural center it is not possible to set up in urban areas. So we ruled out the question of having them in maybe within gazetted urban areas. For example, within Bomet, especially close to the Bomet municipality headquarters, close to Sotik municipality headquarters. There is also Mulo town urban area. There is Danaya town urban area, and there is also Mogoshek urban areas, and then several other markets. It is not possible to set up in those areas. When I saw the petition, I realized this morning, they wanted at least 5 acres in every village. Then I was asking the Director Survey how many villages are there in the county. We realized they could be over 5,000 villages, so it is not possible actually to get a 5-acre land in every village. So as a department, we had zeroed in so that this project can take off quickly without a lot of expenses. The best is not even to buy those parcels of land, because we have several PI lands across the county. So we zeroed in on at least, maybe for a start, to have to identify a PI land which cannot be bought in each and every sub-county. So in Chepalungu, there are several parcels of land across Chepalungu, but we found maybe the best one could be Kipsegon Dam Clay Site area. I think it is on the notes which I have given, and that is Kericho Kyogong 368. This of size 20 acres. Currently is occupied by a cattle dip. There is a cattle dip there. So for Chepalungu, that may suffice for a start. And then in Bomet Central, Your Honor, honorable members, we realized the best could be Sikutanda in Kapsimoto, Sikutanda Dam in Kapsimoto, because the acreage in Bomet Central is a challenge getting bigger size of public land. So, but in Sikutanda we have 12.35 acres approximately. Currently there is a dam there, but for a cultural manger, it could be the best. And then, Honorable Chair, in Konoi, the one with the largest acreage is the Terek grassland of 75.65 acres. Currently partially occupied by several churches. They were allocated to several churches and schools in that 75-something acres. So it is good, it is big enough for this purpose. And then in Bomet East,
allow me to welcome the CEO who has just joined us. Karibu CEO.
In Bomet East, we have a public land which the county had bought sometimes back, I think around 2015, then Dubai Child Welfare Land. Kericho and Dubai, there are 3 parcels there. They total to about 12.5 acres. It It is in Preres ward. Currently, the status is that there is a family that is yet to move out. The family which sold that land. But it is not a big issue. I think the family will move out. And then in Sotik, Honorable Chair, after discussion we discovered maybe the best there is at around Chesambai Dam in the Anayabos ward. Those are 2 parcels. They total to about 8.945 acres. Especially there is a dam, Chesambai Dam there. So the way forward we were suggesting as a department is we recommend that a legislative framework by the department which should be concerned with this college called Manger, should be the Department of Gender, Culture and Social Services, be the first some legislative framework be enacted to guide the establishment of such cultural establishment. This should lead to assessment of cultural centers, especially in the public parcels of land which we suggested in our table above. And then maybe thereafter some public engagements before establishments to be conducted, at least to highlight the benefits of such cultural establishment and the planting of indigenous trees. And then thereafter, Chair, we were thinking maybe funding for purchase of land if the these cultural zones are not approved, but we don't see any reason why they should not be approved. So if a suggestion is made to buy, then maybe this should be factored in the CIDP for land purchase. That means it will go past the next financial year. Thank you, Your Honor. That is the suggestion from the department. So unless the CEO has some input, let me keep it there. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm sorry for coming late. I had to attend some issues and I was also not feeling well. But nonetheless, I'm happy that I have come to appear also before this committee on this very important issue. What I want to say is that when we received this petition and the invitation, we found it very important because as Kipsigis, we love the culture and we still protect our culture. And I want to say the petitioner was very right to bring this petition, and we support. So as a Department of Lands, our duty is to provide land, and we say the Department of Gender, Culture and Social Service will be the people to do the necessary legislation. So what the CEC has said, I think I cannot add more. It's our duty to provide land where possible. Where not possible, we budget also in the next financial year so that we acquire land in the other sub-counties. But if you consider there are sub-counties which are ready and good to go, so if we can do it in phases again, it will be good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, CEO, for that information. Looking at this, this is a very good suggestion that we have. We begin at the sub-county level, then we escalate downwards, and over time we will go to the ward level, and later on to location, sub-location and all that. I think this is also in tandem with what the petitioner was suggesting, because we had we were also questioning how tenable is it to have 5 acres in every village. So let me allow my members to quickly react to this before we give to the CC agenda.
Thank you, Chair. I think to me 5 acres in every village is not possible. So it was my suggestion, if the department can start from ward level, we get at least 1 acre in every ward. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. To my own view, I can say that the suggestion is good, and as a county, I think it's good if we go as per what you have said, that is going to the PI lands which we have in our sub-counties for a start, because it's somehow hard for to get at least 5 acres in every village. Yeah, I think for the case of Konoin, because that is the area where I'm coming from, it's like we have more than 3 PI lands. We have Poster, we have Terek, we have one at Kimulot, that is Chebangang, which is 30 acres. Those are good sites. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Chair, and I want to thank the Department of Lands for the response. The suggestions or the recommendations that they made as a department will also guide us as a committee on advising the petition. The suggestion by the petitioner was also is a very important one, and we actually need to protect our environment, and also especially the indigenous trees, and also to protect our culture. It is very necessary, and I want to thank the department for giving us a guideline. I think I'm happy because both the lands department and the gender, culture and social services are here, because there is also a suggestion by the lands department that the Department of Gender do a legislative framework. I think that one will be will guide the petition. Also, the suggestion that we have a public participation, the public engagement, is also a very necessary one, because as an assembly, you cannot maybe make a recommendation that is final. We need to engage the members of the public to be a whole inclusive thing. And then maybe there also issue of maybe considering putting the same or the purchase of land for the same in the CIDP. I'm also here as a chairman finance. It would be possible in every village, but at least maybe in every ward. That one can be possible. So I want to say thank you to the department for your insights. I think it will go a long way in guiding us on writing a report that will tackle the petition that was handed to us by the 400 petitioners. It is a very interesting one because 400 people signed. So it's a very serious one. So your insights will guide us on the way forward. Thank you.
Thank you, members, for that reaction. Even as we advance to the next stage, I was looking at what the petitioner was concerned. The concern in terms of the planting of indigenous trees, and now we are getting some direction on how we will be able to proceed. Once a legislative framework is done by the Department of Gender, Culture and Social Services, then we believe that once the cassettement is done, then we'll be able to progress, have the indigenous trees in those areas. But now, even as you respond, Waziri, you know, the question of majors is very complicated. My first question to you that you'll answer to us is whether you have an MOU with the Kipsigis Council of Elders, who are really the custodians of this culture, on how it is done. And having these 5 suggested sites, will it now be a preserve of the ones, unajua kuna wale tunaita wakipkaa, kuna wakanisa, and so on. So you will tell us, having, I know you have details to this petition, so let me allow you to respond so that we also react afterwards. Karibu Waziri.
Thank you very much once again, Honorable Chair. Let me respond to this petition on the promoting and protecting of indigenous trees and the culture of the people of Bomet. And maybe on a light note to answer, just as a Kipsigis, the issues of Menjo is a preserve of men, but however, we as ladies also embrace the positive culture. And maybe I don't want to divert, but maybe to respond kindly, and then I'll give my director, who will maybe give the inside part of it. Now, I don't know if you want me to answer directly your question, or I go through what I have. Okay, because we have the answers within. The response to the petition, the County Assembly on promoting and protecting the indigenous trees and culture of the people of Bomet. The subject matter refers, the Department of Gender, Culture and Social Service acknowledges the receipt of a petition raised by one Mr. Biegon Joel Cheriot on the above matter, subject matter, and we therefore wish to respond as follows. That the county government of Bomet is keen on promoting culture and heritage, and the Department of Gender, Culture and Social Services is spearheading that matter, that mandate. The request by the petitioner is not included in the current County Integrated Development Plan, CIDP, and that the petitioner did not raise the issue during the recent concluded CIDP review. I want to concur with the Lands Department that this issue should have come before the process of making the CIDP, and we all know the process. Now, number 3 is that the county government operates within the framework that is guided by the CIDP. The county government of Bomet is currently ranked, that's in regard to the planting of trees, the second in the country in terms of tree coverage, and with the percentage of 23% against what the petitioner is advocating of 10%. That is the statistics we have. So the statistics we have is that we are way above the national percentage. It's not 10%. Increase in tree planting and trees and forest coverage is embedded in the Draft Forest Conservation and Management Bill of 2021 that gives details on the protection and indigenous trees and others. The request is a good proposal, of course, that can be presented to the current Kipsigis or the Kalenjin Kipsigis traditional governance structure, that is the Kipsigis Council of Elders. I think that is where your question was now. This petition can be presented to the council. It's a good one indeed, we acknowledge that, so that they deliberate and ventilate on the matter as it touches on the identity of the community. So this is a preserved culture, is owned by the elders. Now, I'll give my director later to maybe give further information. The petitioner's request can be included in the draft Culture and Heritage Proposal Bill 2026 that is currently before the County Assembly. And this bill emanated from the County Assembly, so I think we can incorporate these issues in the current bill that is undergoing the process. We have our Chair, Culture and Social Service here. So the Department of Gender, Culture and Social Services appreciate the citizens who are keen in protecting our culture and keen on increase in tree coverage as per the presidential directive. So Your Honor, the Chair, That is my submission, and I wish to give my director to give further information. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wasiri, and thank you very much. Looking at the petition that is before us, I wish to say that this is something that whose time has actually come. And I'm happy that people met, over 400 people, and deliberated on the matter, because it has also been our concern. Just to highlight on what the department has been doing, and I would have wished that the petitioner had actually consulted the department before bringing the petition, is that currently the issue of Mutai itself, Mutai is one of the elements that is before UNESCO. And we have had 2 consultative meetings with the Kalenjin communities with a view of harmonizing Mutai itself. What we have discussed is that there is nothing called Tumda Kipsigis and Tumda Kanesa. So those discussions have gone to a higher level because element under UNESCO, the Tumda itself is called rights of passage as an element. As an element, who are these people who are training these initiates? Number 3, where is the designated site for training these initiates? And that brings us now to what this guy is, the petitioner is talking about. Whether we should have a designated area, or we should actually do through the traditional governance structure, vetting of the people who are supposed to train the initiates. Because not everybody can train the initiates. You know the culture, how it operates. There are some clans who cannot actually do that kind of function. And also there are some other traditional implications on the background of the person who is supposed to do that. So that discussion has been going on. And in fact, as of today, 31st of March, we were supposed to have elders consultative meeting to actually endorse some of the deliberations that have been made. And we actually did not beat the deadline of UNESCO in terms of deliberating on that. But the element that was before today's meeting was actually on Mursik. So we have several elements, and the rights of passage is one of them. So the petitioner is on course, and I really appreciate his concern. And the traditional governance structure within the Kipsigis Council of Elders will be actually consulted to come up with the way forward as we come up with the legislations on how we are supposed to do this. Once we have the legislations, now we shall have now the implementation framework on what are we supposed to do. Back to what I was telling you on the rights of passage, that is very concerned. We are very concerned in terms of the curriculum that our initiates are given, both traditionally and in the Christian manner. Because first of all, the trainers are young people. And the curriculum that is actually given there is not really capturing what should have been captured before for those people who are elderly. So those are some of the things that we will do. And then back to this petitioner now on the issue of tree cover. Bomet County, and it happens that I was the director in charge of environment, natural resources and climate change, is actually on the right trajectory in terms of tree cover and forest cover. And we are ranked second after Nyeri, and then third is actually Taita Taveta in terms of the tree cover and the forest cover. So the tree cover and the forest cover includes the indigenous trees. Yes. So we are far beyond what he wanted us to actually implement. So we have already implemented what he wanted. Number 2, what we need to do is actually not to even to buy the land. What we need is the legislation that guides the function itself in a designated area. Because we have several PI lands, we also have our forest, which is one of the gazetted forests. We have Mbomos area there. So I think it is the legislation framework that will actually guide, because if we go the direction of actually buying land, And as we have been struggling to buy and land for ECDs and the others, I think most of the people may not buy this idea of buying a designated land for having the mangers. And for the information, is this, I don't know why he went directly to the manger itself instead of actually the rites of passage as a component in itself, because I think he really wanted us to make sure that we are following our traditional culture. And very soon, we shall be consulting the Assembly also in terms of picking manger or rites of passage as an element that should be protected under UNESCO Convention of 2003. So we shall be coming back to the Assembly to discuss those details so that the petitioner and the others will be happy that this thing has already been picked and it is being implemented. Others, thank you very much for giving us this opportunity, and we will continue pursuing the concerns of the petitioner. Thank you.
Thank you for that elaborate response, and we are happy that you all... Okay, let me allow CC first of all.
Thank you, Chair. I don't know if the directors have something to add. They should add before we give you.
Yes. Director, sir.
And thank you, Waziri. And I only wanted to add that the land which we considered and per sub-counties are the parcels of lands which have got bigger sizes. So it has got its own reservation which occupies part of those lands. Then in these lands we have got much of it being vacant. Say that in every land where we are saying it is partly occupied, say by a dam, then the dam in most cases occupies almost 30% of that land, and 70% is free for that purpose, which can be sufficient to do the planting of the trees and to set up these cultural zones. And going forward, it is also possible to set up the same in wards, because in every ward we have got some public lands, PI lands, where if well considered, then we can have one or two being suitable for such purpose in every ward. So if that can happen, then it is possible for us as lands to identify those lands, and then also brings forward for public participation and approval to make it work for the same, to make it gazetted for the same site. So it is possible to work for it from the ward level. Thank you.
Well, looks like he's okay, but it is still good that the director is admitting that we still have more PI lands at the ward level. In fact, even at the sub-location or village levels. But we wanted to be very clear on how we will be progressing, so that we are guided by some structure. I'm particularly impressed by the fact that the culture side, you've also alluded that there are discussions on course, and you have also stated that Bomet is doing 23% against the 10, which is being fronted by the petitioner. So I wanted to confirm that this 10% is not purely on indigenous, it is just a forest cover, but the petitioner was categorical on, if I'm still right, on the indigenous cover, and still it is good that we have land so we can progressively plant the indigenous trees, which will be good. So let me allow. Oh, I'm very sorry. I should have introduced my vice chair, or let me allow them to react. But I'll begin with my vice chair. Honorable Emily, you introduce yourself and give your input on what has been stated. Then the rest of the members can join in responding.
Good morning. Sorry, Chair, I came late. I was not feeling well. So, yeah. Culture and Social Services Department, welcome to this.
You also have the department for
session. Yeah. I've seen the Department of Urban Planning, because I am in that committee also. So, welcome and thank you for answering some of the questions asked by the petitioner. Otherwise, I'm Honorable Emily Cheruiyot, Vice Chair of this committee. Welcome.
Okay, thank you, Chair. And I would also like to thank the Department of Gender for their response. Honorable Chair, I see it is also coming up strongly. It's the issue of the CIDP and the legislative framework. Maybe what we need to inform the petitioner is also maybe in the next public participation before the next CIDP is done, he should also raise the issue to ensure that it is captured. I will also maybe encourage the department, because you also talked to legislative framework, so kindly work on coming up with legislation on the same. And I want to encourage you also as a department, because currently we are almost losing our culture as a Kipsigis. To be honest, we are almost losing our culture. So as a department, kindly work on it to ensure that we don't lose our culture. Our culture is beautiful, and when you go to maybe the Maasai land, when you look at their culture, yeah, we normally enjoy watching them maybe doing their things. So we also need to maybe encourage in our Kipsigis land the issue of culture. So as a department, kindly work on protecting our culture. And if there is any legislation that needs to be done to ensure that the same is done, personally, I'm ready to support in the county assembly. So as a department, kindly work on that. I'm also happy to learn that we are currently doing 23% in terms of forest cover. So let's strive to do more of the same. Otherwise, I'm happy for your response. So thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Let me add something. I want to thank the ZC at the director on the response, and I was of the idea that we also advise the petitioner that the same be added on the CIDP come next financial year, and as an assembly, being the chair, because we have this culture and heritage proposal bill ongoing, we also add on the same bill so that come next year also be budgeted on the same, so that when we conclude and when it comes to constructions of this measure, I think budget is the paramount thing. Otherwise, thank you very much.
So thank you, members, for the responses. I'm looking at a response by the Department of Lands where they are recommending that a legislative framework by the Department of Gender Culture and Social Services be first enacted. And also, the Department of Culture, you've stated that there's a draft Culture and Heritage proposed bill. So I'm asking, can we be able to incorporate this issue on this bill? That is my first concern, because it has already come from the Department of Lands. And also, I'd asked if there is an MOU between the Department of Culture and the Kipsigis Council of Elders. So maybe you need to respond to us on the same. And also, I'm asking if there is any document on the discussion between you and the UNESCO, and if it is there, then it is important you serve this committee with it, so that it assists us in doing the last report on the same. Then on matters culture preservation, we are very much concerned as members, because with the urbanization, first of all, we are looking at the government move to relocate people from the rural areas to the urban areas. And alongside that, the petitioner was even concerned that why couldn't the affordable houses be done at the villages, at the local areas, so that we preserve the culture. The Director Culture, you've stated that there is need to harmonize the cultures, but I think the one for Kipsigis is unique in itself. So kindly give us your view on the issues that I have questioned, and also maybe you can still dwell more on the preservation side of the culture. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Chair, for that question. I'll go straight to the first one as to whether we have any correspondence with UNESCO. Yes, we do. I think we will provide, because the rights of passage was the second element. We were dealing with Mursik as one of the first elements that should have been patented as by the end of this year as a Kalenjin identity. So Mursik will be coming very fast, and then now the rights of passage will still undergo consultative processes with the community. As I did mention, we need to harmonize our rights of passage. What came out during the discussion was that, yes, we have a very unique Kipsigis traditional culture, but the Nandis also came and say, Tumtav Nandi Manachi. Theirs is also more unique than ours. And then the Tukens came with theirs, and the Kayus and the Marquette also, the Pokot also were very unique with theirs. Then we decided that we need to have, what are these common units that the boys actually should know, apart from saying you are undergoing the traditional way or the Christian way, so that there will be a diversion when it comes now to the Christian and the traditional way. So you will need to choose at some way, but there are some core units, just like in the university. So we are coming up with a curriculum that will be used by the traditional and the Christian way, so that we train our boys on some basics in terms of our identity. So that was the discussion that we are fronting, and it will actually reach you people. It will reach the assembly, it will reach the community, and the sensitivity of it is that there is a lot of secrecy in terms of revealing Tumta itself. So we wanted to engage the elders to see how do we document what is the undocumentable. So those are some of the dynamics we are now facing, because in the Kipsigis land there are some things that should not be revealed and things like that. But we are now going to look at now some of the basics only that these people should do. And then thirdly, you realize that culture, gender and social services is a very unique department. And I say this because it really touches on the individuals and also the communities in real time. Be it culture, be it social protection, or be it gender issues, it really touches on the people. And I really want to seek your intervention on this as a committee, that we are almost becoming extinct as a department in terms of budgetary allocation. And much as I have advised Waziri on what we need to do, the budgetary allocation is a real constraint. And even if you look at the current budgetary process, we have also been, the money has been reduced, and yet we wanted to anchor some of the budget in this UNESCO component, so that we can actually engage the public vigorously on what they need to understand in terms of our cultural identity. So we are actually in a very precarious position when it comes to implementing some of these elements and components. So I really request the committee through our chair of gender that please, if there is any avenue that we could also spare the department from these budgetary cuts, please. We have a lot to do here, and we can actually support. Thank you.
Okay, Honorable Chair, thank you. I'm happy because the chair of this committee is a member of budget committee, so next time, make sure that you protect the department. Honorable Chair, maybe based on the response by the Department of Gender, maybe we'll also need to at some point to consult the Kipsigis, the Mute Council, maybe to also guide us on the same. Based on their response, I was looking at their response, and I think it will be necessary for us also to consult the Mute. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that. The issue of having this in the CIDP, I don't think we will require the petitioner to come forward. I think the department you need to capture in the next CIDP review without going back again to the petitioner, because they may not even be aware of when it is coming up. Then secondly, in terms the concern on the budgetary cuts, that one we've noted. We are, fortunately, your chair of that committee is here. Myself, I'm a member of the budget committee. I think you also need to find a session so that you explain some of these things to the committee, because sometimes, okay, I need also to be clear that sometimes we are found on a very difficult situation because the budget is usually, it is very limited. So we are trying to do some balancing, but sometimes such information needs to also to be understood by the members of the budget committee. So maybe through the chair we can organize for a session with the members so that we explain some of these things. Otherwise, I feel that we have exhausted most of the things, and we are going to, we are also asking if you can give us a contact person from the Kipsigis Council of Elders, so that we also ask them some of the questions, so that we come up with a very comprehensive report. And maybe once we are through with the report, we may even invite you to the plenary during the submission of the report. Otherwise, I want to, unless there is any member still with any, okay, from your side, any other information? Okay. See you, any? Okay, thank you. So after this, we will have a cup of tea together here. And I want to really thank you for coming. Sometimes